Hello, my friends. Welcome back to English Scale Podcast. I am Tom, and I am very happy to practice English with you today. In today's podcast, we are going to talk about a very common and very useful topic in everyday English. We are going to talk about your weekend plans. This is one of the most popular conversation topics in English. People often ask, "What are your plans for the weekend?" Or, "What are you doing this weekend?" You can hear these questions at work, at school, at the gym, in English class, or even when meeting someone for the first time. It is a simple question, but for many English learners, answering it is not always easy. Sometimes you know the words, but you are not sure how to put them together. Sometimes you feel nervous because you think your answer is too short. Today, we will learn how to talk about weekend plans naturally, confidently, and with simple English. First, let's understand why people ask about your weekend. Usually, they are not asking because they need important information. They simply want to have a friendly conversation. Talking about weekend plans helps people know each other better. It is a comfortable topic because almost everyone has weekends, and everyone enjoys doing something different. Some people like relaxing at home. Some enjoy spending time with family. Others love traveling, playing sports, reading books, or watching movies. There is no perfect answer. The important thing is to keep the conversation going. Let's start with a very simple answer. Someone asks, "What are your plans for this weekend?" You could say, "I am going to stay home and relax." This is a complete answer. It is short, clear, and natural. You can also say, "I am going to visit my parents," or "I am planning to meet some friends," or "I don't have any big plans. I just want to rest." Native speakers often give simple answers like these. You do not need difficult grammar or advanced vocabulary to sound natural. Now let's learn a very useful grammar pattern. We often use be going to when talking about future plans. For example, "I am going to watch a movie." "We are going to have dinner together." "She is going to clean her apartment." This structure is very common in everyday English because it sounds friendly and easy. Another common structure is using the present continuous for future arrangements. For example, "I am meeting my cousin on Saturday." "We are having lunch together." "I am flying to another city tomorrow." Both structures are correct, and native speakers use them every day. Let's imagine a conversation. Sarah asks, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?" Mark answers, "Yes, I do. I am going to visit my grandparents on Saturday. On Sunday, I think I will stay home and watch a football match." Sarah says, "That sounds nice. I am meeting a few friends for coffee, and then we are going shopping." This conversation is simple, but it sounds very natural. Notice that both people answer and then add one or two extra details. Those extra details make the conversation more interesting. Now, let's talk about weekends at home. Not everyone wants to go somewhere every weekend, and that is perfectly fine. You can say, "I am planning to clean my apartment." "I want to cook something special." "I am going to read a new book." "I am going to practice English." "I want to sleep a little longer." These are all common weekend activities. Many people enjoy quiet weekends because they work or study hard during the week. For example, you could say, "This weekend I am going to stay home. I have had a busy week, so I just want to relax." "I am planning to watch a movie, cook a nice dinner, and spend some time reading. On Sunday evening, I will prepare for the new week." This answer is longer, but it still uses simple English. Now, let's talk about spending time with family. Family is one of the most common weekend topics. Many people visit their parents or grandparents. Others enjoy having lunch together or celebrating birthdays. You might say, "I am visiting my parents this weekend. My family is coming to my house for dinner. We are having a barbecue on Saturday afternoon. I am taking my children to the park." These sentences are useful because family activities are very common conversation topics. Let's imagine another conversation. Emma asks, "What are you doing this weekend?" David replies, "My sister is visiting us, so we are going to spend the whole weekend together. We are planning to cook dinner, play board games, and watch a comedy movie." Emma smiles and says, "That sounds like fun. I am visiting my grandparents, and we are having a family lunch on Sunday." Notice how both speakers continue the conversation naturally by adding details. Now, let's talk about hobbies. Weekends are often the best time to enjoy hobbies because people have more free time. You might go hiking, play football, ride a bicycle, paint, play music, or take photographs. For example, I am going hiking with my friends. I am playing tennis on Saturday morning. I want to spend some time in the garden. I am taking my camera to the beach because I enjoy photography. Talking about hobbies makes your conversation more personal and more interesting. Travel is another popular weekend activity. Sometimes people take short trips to nearby cities or spend a day at the beach or in the mountains. You could say, "We are going to the countryside for the weekend. I am taking a short trip with my family. We are staying in a small hotel near the lake. I want to visit a museum in another." Even if your trip is short, it gives you plenty to talk about in English. Of course, not every weekend goes exactly as planned. Sometimes the weather changes, sometimes friends cancel their plans, sometimes we simply feel tired and decide to stay home instead. That is completely normal. You can say, "I was going to go hiking, but it started raining. We planned to have a picnic, but the weather was too cold. I wanted to go shopping, but I decided to stay home and relax." These sentences are very useful because plans often change, and native speakers talk about these situations all the time. One important thing to remember is that conversations are not only about answering questions. After you answer, try asking another question. For example, if someone asks about your weekend, answer first, and then ask, "What about you?" or "Do you have any plans?" This keeps the conversation flowing naturally. People enjoy conversations where both people speak, listen, and ask questions. It feels friendly and shows that you are interested in the other person. Talking about weekend plans is excellent practice for improving your English because the vocabulary is simple, the grammar is useful, and the topic appears in real conversations almost every week. The more you practice talking about your weekends, the more confident you will become when speaking English in everyday life. Now let's look at different kinds of weekend plans. Every person enjoys spending their free time in a different way. Some people love relaxing. Others enjoy being active. Some people like spending time with family, while others enjoy being alone for a while. There is no right or wrong way to spend your weekend. The important thing is to enjoy your free time and recharge for the new week ahead. Let's begin with relaxing weekends. After a long week of work or study, many people simply want to rest. If this is your plan, you can say, "I don't have any big plans this weekend. I just want to relax." You can also say, "I am going to sleep in on Saturday morning." Sleep in means waking up later than usual. Another useful sentence is, "I am planning to stay at home and do nothing." Native speakers often say this because sometimes doing nothing is exactly what we need after a busy week. Here is another example. "This weekend, I want to relax. I am going to make some coffee, read a good book, watch a few movies, and spend time at home. I have been very busy recently, so I think I need a quiet weekend." This answer sounds natural because it explains the reason for the plan. Adding a reason always makes your conversation more interesting. Now let's talk about weekends with friends. Friends often make plans together because weekends are a great time to socialize. You might go to a restaurant, visit a cafe, watch a movie, play sports, or simply walk around the city. You could say, I am meeting my friends for lunch. We are going bowling on Saturday evening. A few friends are coming to my house for dinner. We are planning to watch the new action movie. These are common activities that many people enjoy. Let's imagine another conversation. Anna says, "What are you doing this weekend?" Michael replies, "On Saturday, I am meeting a few friends for lunch. After that, we are going to the cinema. On Sunday, I think I will stay home because I want to relax." Anna answers, "That sounds great. I am visiting my cousin on Saturday, and on Sunday, I am going cycling with my brother." Notice how both people continue adding information. This makes the conversation feel natural instead of ending after one sentence. Now let's talk about outdoor activities. Many people love spending time outside during the weekend. They enjoy fresh air and nature after staying inside offices or classrooms all week. You might say, "I am going hiking in the mountains. We are having a picnic in the park. I am riding my bicycle by the river. My family and I are going to the beach." Outdoor activities are popular conversation topics because they are enjoyable and easy to describe. Sports are another common weekend activity. Some people play football with friends every Saturday. Others enjoy swimming, tennis, basketball, or running. Even if you only watch sports, that is something you can talk about. For example, "I am playing football on Saturday morning. I am going to the gym this weekend. I am watching my favorite team play on Sunday. My friends and I are joining a local volleyball game." These sentences are useful because sports are part of many people's lives. Weekends are also a good time to learn something new. Many people use their free time to improve themselves. They might study English, learn to cook, practice photography, or take an online course. You could say, "I am planning to study English for 2 hours. I want to learn how to cook Italian food. I am taking an online photography class. I am watching English videos to improve my listening." Talking about learning shows that you enjoy developing new skills. Let's imagine a student named Lisa. During the week, she is very busy with university classes. On weekends, she has more free time, so she studies English every Saturday morning. After studying, she rewards herself by meeting friends for lunch or watching her favorite TV series. She says, "I like balancing work and relaxation. If I only study, I become tired. If I only relax, I do not feel productive. Doing both makes me happy." This is a very healthy way to spend a weekend. Sometimes people have housework to do. Cleaning, washing clothes, shopping, or organizing the house may not sound exciting, but these activities are also common weekend plans. You can say, "I need to clean my apartment. I am doing the laundry on Saturday. I have to go grocery shopping. I want to organize my room before Monday." Native speakers often talk about these everyday activities because they are part of normal life. Of course, weekends do not always go as planned. Imagine you planned to go to the beach, but heavy rain started early in the morning. Instead of feeling disappointed, you decide to stay home, make some popcorn, and watch a movie. Later you might tell your friend, "We were going to go to the beach, but the weather changed, so we stayed home instead." This is a very natural way to explain a change of plans. Weather often affects weekend activities. On sunny days, people enjoy parks, beaches, hiking, and cycling. On rainy days, they may visit museums, shopping centers, cafes, or stay home with a good book. For example, if the weather is nice, I am going to have a picnic. If it rains, I will probably stay home and watch a movie. These conditional sentences are simple and very useful in everyday conversation. Now let's talk about invitations. Sometimes your weekend becomes interesting because someone invites you somewhere. Your friend may ask, "Would you like to have dinner with us?" Or, "Do you want to come to the park on Sunday?" You can accept by saying, "That sounds great. I'd love to come." Or, yes, thank you, that sounds like fun. If you cannot go, you can politely say, thank you for inviting me, but I already have plans. Or, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it this time. Learning these expressions will help you sound polite and confident in English conversations. Another useful tip is learning to ask follow-up questions. After someone tells you about their weekend plans, you can ask, who are you going with? What time are you leaving? How long will you stay? Have you been there before? These simple questions keep the conversation alive and show genuine interest. Good conversations are built on asking as well as answering. Finally, remember that your weekend plans do not need to be exciting to be interesting in English. You do not have to travel to another country or do something extraordinary every weekend. Simple activities like visiting family, cooking dinner, going for a walk, reading a book, practicing English, or relaxing at home are all excellent topics for conversation. The goal is not to impress people. The goal is to communicate clearly, naturally, and confidently. Every weekend gives you another opportunity to practice these useful English expressions in real-life conversations. Now, let's talk about something very important. Conversations about weekend plans do not only happen before the weekend, they also happen after the weekend. On Monday morning, many people ask, "How was your weekend?" This is another common English question. If you know how to answer it well, you will feel much more confident in everyday conversations. Let's look at a simple example. Your coworker asks, "How was your weekend?" You answer, "It was great. Thank you. I spent time with my family, watched a movie, and relaxed at home." Your coworker smiles and says, "That sounds nice. What movie did you watch?" The conversation continues naturally because you gave enough information for the other person to ask another question. You can describe your weekend in many different ways. If you had a wonderful weekend, you can say, "It was fantastic. I had a great time. It was relaxing. It was really enjoyable." If your weekend was not very exciting, you can simply say, "It was quiet. It was pretty normal. I mostly stayed at home." Native speakers often use these simple expressions because they sound natural and friendly. Now imagine another conversation. Tom asks, "Did you have a good weekend?" Emily replies, "Yes, I did. On Saturday, I went shopping with my sister, and on Sunday, I visited my grandparents. We had lunch together and talked for several hours." Tom says, "That sounds lovely. I spent most of the weekend at home because I wanted to rest." Notice that both speakers talk about simple activities. Everyday conversations are usually about ordinary life, not extraordinary events. Sometimes your weekend may not be very good. Maybe you became sick. Maybe you had too much work. Maybe the weather ruined your plans. That is okay too. You can honestly say, "Unfortunately, I had to work all weekend. I wasn't feeling well, so I stayed home. We planned to go hiking, but it rained all weekend." These answers are honest, simple, and completely natural. Now let's learn some useful vocabulary connected with weekends. The first word is relax. Relax means to rest and enjoy free time. Example, "I just want to relax this weekend." The second word is busy. Busy means having many things to do. Example, "I have a busy weekend because I have family events and housework." The third word is free time. Free time means the time when you are not working or studying. Example, "I enjoy spending my free time reading books." Another useful expression is hang out. Hang out means spending time with friends in a relaxed way. Example, "I am going to hang out with my friends on Saturday evening." Native speakers use this expression very often. You may also hear the phrase, "take it easy." This means relaxing and not doing anything stressful. For example, "I worked very hard this week, so I am going to take it easy this weekend." This is a very common expression in everyday English. Now, let's practice building longer answers. Instead of saying, I am going shopping, you can say, I am going shopping with my sister because we need to buy a few things for our home. Instead of saying, I am staying home, you can say, I am staying home because I want to relax after a busy week at work. Instead of saying, I am meeting friends, you can say, I am meeting a few friends for dinner, and afterward we are planning to walk around the city. Adding one extra sentence makes your English sound much more natural. Here is another example. My weekend starts on Friday evening. After work, I usually make dinner and watch a movie. On Saturday morning, I like sleeping a little longer before having breakfast. In the afternoon, I often meet friends or visit my family. Sunday is usually my quiet day. I prepare for the new week, practice some English, and relax before Monday. This answer sounds friendly because it describes a normal weekend using simple vocabulary. Now let's think about English learning again. Talking about your weekend is excellent speaking practice because the topic changes every week. Every Friday, you can practice talking about your future plans. Every Monday, you can practice talking about what you did. This means you always have something new to talk about. You can even practice by yourself. Stand in front of a mirror and answer questions like these. What are you doing this weekend? What did you do last weekend? Who are you spending your weekend with? What is your favorite weekend activity? The more you answer these questions, the more comfortable you will become when someone asks you in real life. Remember, confidence does not come from using difficult English. Confidence comes from using simple English clearly and naturally. Many learners believe they need advanced grammar to have good conversations, but that is not true. Native speakers often use short, simple sentences in daily life. What matters most is communicating your ideas clearly. Before we finish today's podcast, let's review what we learned. We talked about why people ask about weekend plans. We learned useful grammar for talking about the future, including be going to and the present continuous. We explored many common weekend activities such as relaxing at home, visiting family, meeting friends, traveling, playing sports, studying English, shopping, and doing housework. We also learned how to describe weekends after they are finished, how to accept or decline invitations politely, and how to ask follow-up questions to keep conversations going. The next time someone asks you, "What are your plans for the weekend?" don't worry. Take a deep breath, smile, and answer with confidence. Your plans do not need to be exciting. They only need to be real. Simple conversations help build strong communication skills, and every conversation is another opportunity to improve your English. Now I have a few speaking practice questions for you. What are your plans for this weekend? What is your favorite weekend activity? Do you prefer relaxing at home or going out with friends? What did you do last weekend? If you had a completely free weekend with no responsibilities, how would you spend it? Try answering these questions out loud using complete sentences. The more you practice speaking, the more natural your English will become. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope this episode helps you feel more confident when talking about your weekend plans in English. Remember, every conversation is a chance to practice. Every mistake is a chance to learn, and every weekend is a chance to create new memories and new English conversations. Thank you for listening to English Scale Podcast. I am Tom, and I am very happy we practiced English together today. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep learning, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, and have a wonderful weekend.